Welcome to the Piece by Piece Autism Podcast with your hosts, Angie and Christy. They've worked 25 years to help Alec get the most out of life. Let them tell you how they're doing it.
Welcome back to Piece by Piece Autism Podcast. We're looking forward to a fun chat today. Christy and I talk about our years of experience with her youngest son, Alec. Alec has severe autism. He is nonverbal and lives in Utah in a group home setting. He's a pretty cool 28-year-old guy. He continues to grow and exceeds our expectations every day and is living his best life, and we are here to share with you what we have learned along the way. Now, many of you have been quite interested in one of our previous episodes on chores, and it is something we have loved and have seen the benefit of and want to do a little bit more of a deep dive. But if you have not listened to our first episode on chores, you can find it. It's called It's a Hard Knock Life for Al, Autism and Chores. So anywhere you listen, just go and plug that in and you'll be able to find that. But today we're going to dive in a little bit more on the topic, talk a little bit more of how to maybe set these up for your child or client and some of the benefits and how we've gone about doing it all. So
yeah, our kids are very capable. And I think that's what some people don't quite realize. And I think I would have not realized unless I had someone telling me, hey, this, I wasn't sure what Alec could do.
Right.
I never was sure when he was little. And I've loved seeing everything unfold and just see just how capable he is. And so I think that we have to remember that our kids can do things at different levels depending on where they are and what prerequisites they have to prepare them for things like chores. Mm-hmm. I quoted this in our first episode, and I just love it. There's an 85-year ongoing study conducted by Harvard Research, which shows a strong connection between doing chores and later professional success, which you might not think affects our guys and girls, but we've found that it does affect Alec. It has prepared him very well for some of the different jobs that he's had by doing some chores around the house that have built skill sets that he's able to take into the work environment. It also provides him happiness. It helps him develop greater self-worth, confidence, a work ethic, and empathy for others. And that's what this study showed. And we can see that it actually does apply to our guys and girls. And it's not just exclusive to typical developing children. A few of the chores that Alec currently does is he empties the dishwasher so well. I think the last time that I was at his house, I was seeing that he was expanding that chore and taking on responsibility for emptying more of the dishwasher than he ever had.
Yeah.
Taking out the trash, vacuuming, shower cleaning, toilet cleaning, wiping counters, windows, and many more chores that I haven't listed here. I was thinking about earlier, what are the prerequisites that a child needs to start doing chores? And really, you don't need a lot to get started. One of the things that we did when Alec was very small, like I'm talking about 4 years old, 5 years old, we started doing some of the gut steam. If you've ever read about him, he's done some really exciting things with cooperative tasks and how those can teach children with autism. And so we would do things like, for example, if we were going to go get something out of the garage, let's say we were going to go get a cooler that had handles on either side, then we would go take Alec with us, and we would say, you grab this handle and I'll grab this handle. And we do a cooperative task of carrying that from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. And in that task, he would have to coordinate with our movement. He would have to take cues from, how we were moving, what is our gait, all that. And from that small thing, that can be expanded into something a little bit more complicated, like some other chore. We did not start with when he does the windows, I am just like looking at the the task analysis, the data sheet, and I'm just seeing all those steps going, oh my goodness, this is so many steps. And I sit there and watch it. And having watched him when he very first started doing it to now, it doesn't look like as many steps to me anymore
It's
because I've
not,
seen him.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him do it fluently, and it's so cool to watch because it was such a Herculean task whenever he first started learning
Yep.
it, and I thought, oh no, will he ever be able to get it and whatever? But man, he has the cleanest windows on the block, and that's really cool to see that he does that. But we didn't start with the million step. Not that it has a
Right.
million steps, but it has almost a million, right?
I mean, almost. It's close. It's close.
So we start with less complicated chores.
Yeah.
One of his very first ones was walking the dog. You got to walk the dog. All right? You got to walk the dog every day, so you have to coordinate. There's a lot to coordinate with that, especially because the dog was a Chihuahua, So that was a task in itself.
Yeah.
And then loading water bottles, unloading water bottles, stuff like that. Just you can start very small.
Yeah. Uh, it doesn't need to be complicated. And as you were reading off some of these chores that Alec currently does, we don't micromanage and take data on all of these chores. We don't take data on taking out the trash. That's more of still a cooperative task. We're walking out with them to the street to put that away. Maybe emptying the dishwasher, we didn't start so much with data. It was more of a cooperative task that he now can do quite independently. And like you said, we're expanding on now putting some of the Tupperware away or the glass dishes
Yeah.
because he's can be trusted a little bit better with some of the more delicate items. And so we're putting some of that responsibility on him, but not all of these did we break down into a full task analysis.
Okay. So then how do you decide to do that or not? Is it how many steps there are in the chore or
Yeah, I mean, I think for emptying the dishwasher, there's so many variables there. How many cups and plates and sharp things that he's not doing, like it
Yeah.
takes a little bit of finagling. And again, like that's just something that gets done at his house now every morning it's part of his morning routine more than we're working towards full independence in toilet cleaning. And you certainly could do a task analysis, but I also don't want a data or prompt levels or some of what we're going to talk about and how we break down our chores to feel cumbersome or like too overwhelming. So don't feel like you have to take on and do these forward chaining task analysis for 12 different chores. Obviously, that is not at all where we started. So your point of we're walking the dog, we're feeding the dog, we're loading the fridge with waters and sodas, we're emptying the dishwasher. Those were some of his beginner chores. And I think because some of those were established prior to him moving to Utah, they were also just things that we did. Now, what's different with his situation now in his group home setting is he has a significant number of team members that work with him, and he obviously doesn't see all of them every day. So one really important thing in maintaining consistency and making sure that we leave nothing to interpretation or chance is that we really did need to then break down the tasks and these chore chains, maybe not even so much for Alec's benefit as much as it was for mastery and generalization with our team members.
Right.
And so we have found that to be really beneficial, but it also has just skyrocketed Alec in learning and growth and independence and all of these as well. I open this cupboard, I grab this spray, I pick up the paper towels, we walk over here. Like it just has become second nature to him.
one thing that I wanted to mention about the prerequisites that has been really important to us and to Alec's success is his instructional, we called it control. Some people call it instructional cooperation. How important has that been for getting him to do these harder chores that he has, like washing the windows?
I would say because that was something we've worked with Alec at from such a young age, it's made it a lot easier. Obviously, if you've got cooperation and instructional control and you're able to say, hey, buddy, this is what we're doing right now. Come on, I'm going to help you through this. We're going to do this together. I'm going to make sure we're successful here. If your learner trusts you and you guys have that rapport, then this is going to go over a lot smoother. I do think that is the best way for learning and growth. Absolutely. I do think that even with little instructional control, you could still have success in the task completion aspect of how we break down these chains.
Okay. So this golden retrieval, this is one of our prompt levels, and I don't think that's found in any kind of a textbook anywhere.
No, you're not going to find this.
If you're going to get your BCBA exam and you're looking for golden retrieval anywhere on it, are you going to find it on there, Angie?
No, this is our own endearing term for for one of our prompt levels.
What does it mean? Can you just tell me that before we get into the prompt levels? Because I think I know what it means, but I would love to kind of have you expound on that.
So, in an effort to always expand Alec's ability to think for himself, we start each chore with a picture. We've used PECS with Alec, the picture exchange communication system. He's very used to having pictures of items and matching them to locations in his home. And some other programs that we use them on a schedule board as we talk about what his day is going to look like. And so on his schedule board, we would have, okay, today we're going to the gym, we're doing some chores. And what chores do you want to do, Alec? Oh, you're going to clean a toilet and wipe the fridge. Great. We're going to add those pictures to our schedule board. Then those same pictures are handed to Alec when we say, hey man, it's time to clean the toilet. We give him a picture. Some of them are a picture of a cloth. Some of them is a picture of the location. Some of them is a picture of the spray that he uses for the shower. And that indicates to him the very first part, the place, the start of that chore. And so as we were trying to, we were just being silly as we were writing out some of these. One of our team members at the time, shout out Tyler, said, how about a golden retriever? It sounds like he's, chasing after something. Like this is a game, So it is now endearingly called the golden retrieval prompt level.
When you're first training somebody and they're starting, do they say, wait a second, I've studied ABA, but I don't think I've ever heard of this golden retrieval.
I know. There is some explanation now with that, but it's still, you got to have some fun. So
yeah, of course.
That's how we start all of our chores. He is given a picture.
And that's every chore you do that with?
Most of them, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, would you tell people right now how involved I am in Alec's life? Because it makes it sound like I don't know anything about him. I know a lot about him.
You do.
But I haven't taught him anything in a while.
Oh, no, but you see him do all these cool things, and it's fun to be on the receiving end, maybe.
Yeah.
And not doing.
Oh my goodness. I love to just sit and watch him.
Yeah.
I just love it. I love it when y'all hand him a card and I'm like,
where's he going?
What he's going to do next.
Yeah.
And then he'll disappear and he'll skip a little bit. And I'm like, oh, he went into the laundry room. Is he going to do laundry or is he going to grab his vacuum cleaner? You know?
That's the other thing too that the pictures really do help with is within his home, there are oftentimes several tasks, and again, not always necessarily chores, but things that are done in a small location. He goes to his laundry room to start laundry, obviously, to switch the laundry. He has a counter that he folds his clean shirts on. We spray the laundry before it goes in. That's separate than the chore. His vacuum is in that laundry room, so he often retrieves the vacuum to clean up after meals and things. And so again, that picture can help just be that visual reminder for a guy like him whose receptive language is a little bit lower and lacking. That's been a struggle of his. It's just that little reminder as he's taken 20 steps and he's going, wait, squirrel, what am I doing? Sometimes I feel like I need that too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh my gosh. Now that I know about this golden retrieval, I think I might start my own.
You need your own schedule board. So anyways, that's how we start our chores. That's our prompt level for handing him his picture of what the start and location of the chore is. And then from there, we have I will just quickly go over our prompt levels, and many of you will obviously know what these are, and some are self-explanatory, but model, we use that a lot for Alec moving his body in new ways, probably more at the gym or with workouts and those kinds of things, where we're showing him and having him mirror after or do as we do.
That's probably why imitation is such a fundamental part of ABA.
Yeah,
is
very
to start
true.
there. And he was such a strong guy with imitation.
Yeah, we still do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our highest prompt level, obviously, is for independence. And I will say we mark Alec a lot of times as, quote, independent within a chore chain. And I will recognize that us being there doesn't maybe mean that he is fully independent, but for the sake of Alec's learning environment and how we are teaching and supporting him, we're giving him credit where we feel credit is due. Gestural is another great, useful one for Alec, where we are pointing or supporting with a visual on our end. Verbal is used often when we are counting or with a praise and prompt, which I'll talk about those kind of verbal supports here shortly. Partial physical is where maybe he's needed a little bit of a support of his elbow. This was one that we used in our initial start of Swiffering to get that push and pull motion. And so instead of really having to do a hand over hand or a full physical prompt, which we don't use currently at all with anything, but that is usable, where we would hand over hand, he just needed a little bit of a support from the elbow. And then we were very easily able to fade that. Facilitate, this one's been used where we take over a portion of the chore. One quick instance I can think of, when Alec takes the trash out, like I said, this is more of a cooperation activity because we don't want him walking out on his own. We also facilitate opening the garage. Could he learn to do that? Absolutely. Is that something we want him to know how to do or to be skilled in doing? No way, Jose. So we facilitate that portion of that routine.
And the interesting part about him is that he actually will not try to learn that either.
Yeah.
Because he could 100% learn it.
Oh, yeah.
But he seems to accept the parts that we don't want to teach him.
Yeah.
We didn't teach him how to open a jar. We didn't teach him how to open a can. Somebody on the team decided to teach him how to open a can. We did not want him to learn to open a can, and he didn't open a can until that person taught him. Even though he could physically do it. He just knew.
Right.
I asked permission to get a can. And so why would I open it? I got to, I got to wait.
I got to go through the proper channels here.
Yeah, we're going to the proper channels. We're going to do this thing right.
Another funny story about him where we had to take away a privilege. He enjoys water, and sometimes the water access becomes a bit of a deterrent. Yeah. Again, going back to the Swiffering, which I actually think Swiffering was more of a bear and a beast to teach than window wiping, but
really,
yes. So he would pull out, we use the Swiffer wet pads, and he would pull those out and he would flick the snot out of that thing and just shake it, and it's wet, and he, would just think that was so entertaining. And so that part of the chore, for a time, we had to not allow him to pull it out. We would pull it out and place it on the floor to eliminate that kind of disruption and break in the chain and get him back on track to doing the chore correctly.
But now he does the full thing.
Oh, he has this was like within the first year of Alec moving to Utah, it was an issue.
So he just matured. He understood what the chore was. He understood we weren't going to laugh and be entertained by him slopping the wet cloth around at us. And he decided to get with the program.
We would have to do a reset, or, it just became then a behavior issue outside of completing the chore. And it was one way that we could say, we're going to still help this move along, and you're still going to learn how to do this, but we're not going to allow you the satisfaction of this big water flick and shake. So facilitate is just us kind of taking that step. Position prompt is one that we probably use the very most. And this is why I say Alec is getting credit for being independent, but obviously his support staff is still there. You could argue that an independent credit for Alec is not really independent, which argue it all you want, but I'm giving
Who cares?
Alec,
He does
I'm
a
giving
bunch of
Alec
stuff.
bonus points.
Yeah,
So,
and that position prompt, Angie, I think is a really hard thing whenever people first join the team and they've never done any kind of work with guys like Al.
yeah,
They don't understand how powerful that can
it
be.
is.
Like if you move your body
Yes.
2 feet to the left, that is going to shift his thinking about what the possibilities are for his
Yes.
body.
Yes.
And it's amazing what a position prompt will do. I
Yes.
use it a lot when I'm with him because it also enables him to move his own body and do the things that he needs to do and learn where they go without doing any kind of a physical prompt.
Right. And we're strategic about how we use it. And we, again, try to be consistent. One example, back to the Swiffering, he takes that wet Swiffer off when he's done. And there are many, many, many times throughout the day in chores, or Alec changes his shirt several times and he takes all of those things to the laundry room. Well, he's got this cloth, and oftentimes he wants to walk it to the laundry room and put it in the laundry hamper instead of putting it into the trash. So there is a very strategic place that our team is trained to stand when he completes the chore. That is just a little signal to him that, oh, I'm done with this, and I walk it over to the trash can instead of to the laundry room. It's very simple.
They're not pointing, they're
We're
not
not, nope, there's
giving
no,
any kind of a verbal prompt, nothing.
nope. And we've been able to really fade, again, even where that position is, but everybody knows when to move to that position and where that position is. And it really does speak volumes to him. The last prompt level that I'll talk about is our laser point prompt. And we use this one often, especially in vocational opportunities that Alec has had with wiping counters. We've used this with vacuuming. We use it currently in his shower cleaning chore. And this allows us to just stand a little bit farther back where it's not a gesture where we're having to really get in there, because a finger point can be a little bit questionable. Like, what are you pointing at over there? You know, it's farther removed.
It's always been a struggle for him
Yeah.
to follow a
To
finger
follow
point.
a point. Yeah. But that laser pointer is on the ground, and he knows that that push and pull of the vacuum needs to follow and shift over and shift over. And we're crossing ground as we're doing this, and it's been awesome. Or when he was wiping tables at the restaurants, we were able to really make sure that we got in a pattern of corner, 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 corner. And we're able to fade that as that becomes the routine. And so all of these prompt levels obviously are used not only in our chore chains, but throughout daily living. And I think the reason in training our team, I focus so much on teaching these prompt levels and how we use them in these chores specifically, because they generalize so well in daily living. And I think that's just one of the great benefits of starting young with your learner in supporting them at home and really understanding the benefits of chores. So
We need to make sure that we put in our show notes our favorite laser pen,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's so hard to find a good one. It's not just on Amazon. We get it from an office supply or something.
Yeah, I think we did link it in our first episode. And I think
Okay.
we about fainted when we saw how much they are.
Yeah, I think they're expensive, but they last. They last a long
Yes,
time. So
yes.
once you buy one, we keep up with it because we
Yes.
always just keep it in the backpack.
Yep.
It's always ready to go in the backpack. And there's one in the bathroom for the shower cleaning.
Yep.
We keep
They-
it in strategic places and we don't lose them because
Nope,
they're
they are pricey, but they are
but they work.
Yeah, they work very well.
There's certain things that we do before a chore so that we're setting Alec up for success. We make sure that all the items are in the right spot. We make sure there's clean cloths in the drawer if he is to go to a drawer to get a cleaning cloth. We make sure that the correct spray is towards the front of the cabinet so that when he opens the cabinet, there's the correct spray. he has a toilet wand, which has removable and disposable little snap things that go on the end of it to wash the toilet. We have been through it with the toilet washing because we've tried to do different things. Like in the beginning, if you just take a regular old Lysol or whatever, a toilet bowl cleaner, the one with bleach, those are all pretty toxic and they're very difficult for him to open. So we went to this kind of less toxic, kind of a cleaner, but it wasn't cleaning the toilet very well. So we found these disposable ones. I think they're by Clorox or something.
Yeah, I think so. But then he's not touching the top to try and open
Yeah,
anything. He's not getting anything on his hands or his clothing.
yeah. Yeah, and he loves scents, so we
Mm-hmm.
have to be careful about him getting something that he's gonna spray up his nose because, he does like to get close to his scents. And so we had to we love that sprayway, cleaner for windows. We just love how that works, but we had to get him something different. We've used some of the Myers stuff, I know that, because it has less, I guess we're calling them toxins. We do make sure to set up for success because if he gets halfway in and the paper towels are out and he's going over to grab his little roll of paper
Right,
to tuck under his arm to go do his window cleaning,
right.
that would be rough.
An example, his table wiping, we like to make sure that he is able to get to the table without the chairs around. So we go
Yeah.
and it's noted for the team, make sure that you move the chairs out of the way. Sometimes we do a little practice spraying beforehand. We've got notes to make sure that we're not walking around the table 12 times because sometimes he just is like, ooh, this is really fun and I'm really in the zone and it's a repetitive motion. And here we are 10 minutes later and he's about to rub a hole through the table. So
It is funny though.
I know.
That one time I said, is he ever going to stop?
Yeah.
But
So,
sometimes you have to probe it and see how far would he go on this?
yep. Yep.
Okay, he's on number 50. Let's maybe stop.
Yeah, and that kind of leads us into our next topic about how do we monitor and track the progress. So, like I said, we've got just these task analysis sheets and data that we keep on Google Sheets. Very
Google
easy.
Sheets.
I'm
Yeah.
able to access it. I'm able to update. It changes easily. It's great. Nothing super fancy. I do have drop downs with all the different prompt levels, and we have color coded the prompt levels just for ease of our task analysis is all color coded. So you can see, is it green, independent? Is it yellow? That means gesture. Is it orange? That means it's a verbal. And so as our team obviously gets trained up, the color association is very quick to catch on to.
We actually have one of these on our Instagram account
Yeah,
at Piece by Piece Autism Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. So if you want to see a sample page, I'll post it again soon so that will be easy to find.
awesome.
Whenever you prepared those Google Sheets, is this something where you have to find a family member that can set it
Yeah,
up? Or did we have students that came in and we said, hey, do you know how to do this? Because I don't remember that part.
no, I definitely had Jordan help me, my husband, set these up with all the drop downs and things. I am
Okay.
proud to say that I could do them now. I have learned a lot over the last few
Yay!
years. I know. And I think with
Angie,
ChatGPT,
wow.
you could ask how to do any of this.
Oh,
But a
yeah.
good old pen and paper is all we did when Alec was at home.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of these systems do not have to be even on a iPad or computer of any sort.
Yeah. It's just with you being remote,
Right,
I think it makes it easier for you to be able to check it.
right.
But yeah, you don't have to have all this.
So,
But it's free, right?
oh yeah,
Like
it's
we used to pay to do a data collection
we did.
software
Yep, and it was a
or
pain
app
to
or
set up.
something.
It
Yeah. And
what we've got set now and what we had before we tried to get fancy with a paid set of data was it just was not worth it. So you don't need anything fancy, really pen
Yeah.
and paper, because these things do ebb and flow. And Alec gains independence and we kind of pull back and we give him some space and we aren't maybe counting out loud for him. And then my next visit, I come and I watch him do the toilet and I'm like, hey, why are we still scrubbing the toilet? You know, it's supposed to be a 10 count in the toilet and about 20 on the outside, whatever our criteria is. And because we're not doing that and we've pulled back, it's maybe double or triple that. And so those are things that I keep tabs on and watch when I'm there to see him do these chores, just to be like, okay, let's go ahead and put our count back in and clean this up a little bit here. And then we pull it back out a month or two later. So there is always ebb and flow to his progress. And I will say we have a team lead who I asked to probe. You were just alluding to that. Every so often it's like, okay, we're going to kind of let the reins out a little bit and give Alec a little bit more freedom and see, without a prompt here, will he just do this part? Does he know well enough without a verbal, without a gesture, without this position prompt? Can he just complete the chore at a certain point? And so we'll get together and run some of those as a probe.
And would this be a good time to ask you about like being proactive versus reactive?
Yeah, so this is a huge, like, such simple idea, but such huge impact. It can be so subtle, especially when you're the one running the chore and you're trying to think about, how am I supposed to help or support this next step, or what is the next support level, prompt level that I'm giving here. I always tell our team to be as proactive in prompts as you can, always proactive rather than reactive. I really cringe when I see, oh, wait, come back. Oh, don't forget, grab this. Oh. It's because too many times of a reactive prompt really just teaches Alec to wait.
Do it wrong.
I'm going to do something wrong. They're going to tell me I'm wrong, so I'm not going to do it, and I'm just going to wait to be told what to do. So that, or you start to kind of intervene and pull them back in and redirect as a reactive measure, and he checks out. I don't need to pay attention or think ahead because they're just going to tell me what I need to do. I'm just
He is Mr. Prompt dependent.
He really
if he can be.
Yes, he really,
but we have
really
to
is.
really watch for that in everything we do with him.
Yeah, this is really crucial when I am training, is really reiterating. If you have to go ahead, if you feel like you need to just give a prompt, just give it. It's fine. Just get through the chore, give the support. I would rather you do that than, oh, come back. Oh, you forgot. Yeah. Alec, I think we're good. Oh, don't forget, we're going over this way. It really kind of makes me cringe in my soul when I see that.
Yeah, and the proof is in the pudding. We've got almost 7 years now in Utah, and we've watched these chores start from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen how far they go and how independent so many of them are.
Yeah, we've got some that have been so independent, we've not tracked data on them for months. It's just awesome.
And it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's also fun to see his routines. Like, that's what I see most of the time, are his routines that are just like, used to be so many prompts that you could hardly keep track.
Right.
Like his morning routine, his night routine. And now it's just, he moves through them so
effortlessly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. One other thing that we do proactively, or as a way to help our team engage with Alec, because I do think we're not looking to just be a fly on the wall while Alec is doing these chores. It's fun to be a part of his daily living, as we are. You know, we're there with him to help him live his best life. So we use what we call a praise and prompt method, where as Alec is actively working, I would not give the praise and prompt if he is stalled out and stemmy staring out into outer space while he's wiping the windows on a beautiful sunny day.
What could you praise?
I'll let him have a moment. Right. But as he is actively wiping that window, oh, I love how you got that corner. Nice job. Oh, yeah. Oh, I saw that smear. You got that one? Nice. Keep it up. And so it's just that little bit of, I see you,
momentum,
and keep going, instead of waiting for the stall and saying, oh, keep going, Alec. You missed this corner. Let's try that again. It's much more encouraging to hear, nice job, keep it up. And he's like, oh yeah, got some pep in my step. I'm going to finish strong. So we do a lot of that as a proactive way to also just, obviously we're there watching him, so we might as well verbally be a part of the task as well.
Yeah. And anybody loves to hear
Right?
you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
And it will make you go forward and keep going and keep your motivation up and
Yeah.
keep your momentum.
Yeah.
This has been so fun to go back over chores. It's one of the things that I am the proudest of about Alec. He has a lot of things to be proud of. He's done so many great things in his 28 years. But I'm so proud when I go to his house and he's buzzing around, he's skipping, he's carrying his little card that now I know what that is. I love that. And I hope that this will motivate you to start this with your children. If it's very small task or very large task
Yeah.
eventually.
Doesn't
Just
need
start
to be grandiose.
somewhere. And we've talked before that Angie's 4-year-old does task and loves it
Yep.
and gets a lot from it. So like don't hesitate. Don't think, oh, my child can't do this. Yes, they can. They can do something.
Absolutely.
Well, start small. Do something cooperative. Start with that and you'll be fine.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode of Piece by Piece Autism Podcast. If you're loving these conversations as much as we are, hit the follow button, share the show, and help us spread the word, because every piece of the story matters. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Piece by Piece Autism Podcast. That's PIECE, Piece by Piece Autism Podcast. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.